Hey guys, it's HK and welcome to another Boba Talks podcast. I'll have Impulse on here in just a little bit to talk about freestyling and how he got into it and maybe give you all some tips if you want to get into freestyling and do some of the crazy stuff he does. But before we get into that, I want to thank you so much for all your recent support. We hit 10,000 subscribers and it's been so overwhelming. I never thought we'd hit it so soon. So as a thank you, I want to do a small giveaway towards the end of the video. And if you want to just skip to it and get the details on that, I'll have timestamp in the description below where you can skip to. Hey guys, so for those of you who aren't familiar with Impulse, we've done 2 tutorials together and we have a third coming one day.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Someday.
Someday. I keep procrastinating it. But yeah, but for those of you who are interested in freestyling, Impulse basically the best freestyler I personally know, and yeah, he's gonna talk today a little bit about like how he got into it or some drills you can run if you're interested in getting into freestyling. At least get you off your feet or get your feet wet into how to do like infinite air dribbles and stuff like that. So let's just hop into a private game, I guess, with infinite boost. Okay, so to get things started, I mean, I guess like why'd you get into freestyling in general? Like, or here, I'm gonna spectate and you can just go nuts.
Yeah, okay, I'll probably just choke every single shot. So I had about like 1,800 hours or something in the game after like a year or two. I don't know. And then I was like, I played ranked like any other normal player, and I was like C2 or something, right? Which wasn't like where I wanted to be, you know. Like it was kind of boring, and I wasn't having as much fun with ranked. And it's kind of cancer solo queuing threes. So I just figured, you know what, like I'll just get into freestyling because I could already do like a single flip reset, stuff like that. Like nothing insane, but like enough to get into it. So I figured that'd be fun, and I just sort of went into free play, looked up people's camera settings, and just dived into it blind. I didn't really know anything, and I didn't know anybody that like knew how to do anything in this game.
All right, so what would you say to someone who's like, they want to get into it, but they don't even know where to start? Like,
I mean, it depends on what type of freestyling you're getting into, right? Because obviously I did like free play type stuff. I'm not doing like any team plays or team freestyling yet. Just because that's just not what I got into, I guess. I don't know. But I'd say if you're doing the type of stuff that I'm doing, you definitely want to get your car and camera settings down. You probably want to use Breakout. You could use like Batmobile if you want, Dominus maybe. But I don't see any reason to not use Breakout.
Gotcha.
And then just choose some camera settings you like, because there's like high angle, like where you're looking down on the car. There's like low angle ones, a bit higher distance, you know, just see what feels good. My cams are 103, 170, 40, -1, and 0.8.
Okay, yeah, so for those of you who, wonder, I'm definitely going to be putting Impulse's camera settings in the description. I feel like every tutorial we do, we get so many posts asking like, what are his camera settings? What are his camera settings? And I'm like, it's already in the description. Yeah. But like, maybe I have to say it like in the video, so
that's literally all that anybody posts. But to be fair, I do change them a lot, so it's like every new video.
It's really hard. It's definitely really hard to actually say what your camera settings are, because you definitely change them often. But there is like a range that you stick with when it comes to freestyle camera settings.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And it's just really what you're used to. Like I've been sticking with 170/40 for a while because it's what a good friend of mine uses. It's really good for flip resets, and I feel like you can adapt to pretty much any camera settings with air dribbling. Yeah, as long as they're decent.
Like, what would be like the first freestyling drill you would recommend people? Like, aside from just, you're assuming that like whoever's watching this, like if you want to get into doing crazy stuff like what you're doing now, they already know how to do your basics, air dribbling and ceiling shot. Then where would they go next? Do you need to know how to do flip resets before going into infinite air dribbles?
No, I mean, I'd say they're all kind of independent. I think air dribbling, even if you're a competitive player, is not at all necessary, but it's the most helpful out of any of these drills, because you don't need to know how to do like 7 flip resets or anything like that to be like 2000 MMR. Nobody knows that. Like that's not even helpful. But if you could infinite air dribble, I feel like that could add to your car control skills, because I know it definitely has to mine. After spending so long on this, it's the best drill for car control, in my opinion. That's like just possible in the game. Yeah,
I remember when I met you, you were like, oh yeah, I'm like Diamond 3 right now. And I was like, when was the last time you played ranked? And you were like, oh, it was like a year ago. And then and then you're like, oh hey, I finally played ranked on GC. And I was like,
Yeah.
Of course.
C1 or something, dude. It was...
Yeah. No, like we played your placements together or something, and you ended up like C1 or something, and then it was like, well, like you started like D3 MMR, and it's just like I haven't played ranked in a year, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like I played maybe like 20 or 30 games each season.
Yeah.
It's really not enough to like know how that works at all.
Right,
And...
but then you actually played that season and hit GC just to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still not like a good ranked player at all, but it's kind of fun sometimes when you're on a good session.
Yeah.
I never had a team though. I wish I had a team of people to play with, but it's whatever.
Oh, dude, I think this is an important question. How do you think about freestyling, like in a match, like actually using it in ranked and stuff like that?
Oh, in ranked, I think it's pretty much useless past like a double reset or like a musty flick. Anything that's not basic, I don't see any reason you do it. But I mean, you can do it. It looks cool, I guess. In casual though, I really like it. Like, I don't have anything against anybody that does that. It's just not my. It's not what I'm looking into right now, you know.
Yeah. No, I just feel like it was important to say, because I honestly I get a lot of comments where, especially for one of my videos where it's like top mechanics for every rank, and I get all these comments like, oh, I'm silver, but I can air dribble. Why? Like, why am I still stuck in silver? And then I'm just like,
I mean, if you can air dribble well enough, you could probably get out of it.
Yeah. No, of course. But it's like, look at how well you're air dribbling, and when I played with you, you didn't even do one in like 10 games. Like in an actual match, guys, like this guy plays like a normal person. You would never have guessed that he could do this stuff. And I just think that's a good PSA for everyone, that like to actually rank up, you don't need to do this, and it might actually not be a great idea even if you can do this stuff, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. The only thing this has really done is just made me a lot more confident with aerials. Probably ground play, because I've been doing dribbling stuff. I've just refined my mechanics overall over so long, because that's like all I do anymore. And I think it's the most fun way to play the game for me at this point in time.
Okay,
and that's all it really is. Like, you don't need to. It's just how much you have fun with this game, honestly.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's not like anybody's better than anybody else. It's not like ranked is more valid of a way to play.
Mm-hmm. No,
I see a lot of people that are like, "Oh, you did it in free play." Like, no way, I did it in free play. Like, so.
Yeah, you're like,
cool.
You're like, yeah, I can't dribble for 30 minutes in free play. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, in ranked, yeah, you can't.
Like, wow, I can't do 20 resets in a ranked match. No way. Thanks, random commenter on TikTok. Like.
Okay, so next topic. Between air dribbles, ceiling shots, double touches, and flip resets, if someone is unable to do any of these, where do they start?
If they're like all in on freestyling,
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably. I mean, if you can't double touch, like maybe work on that a little bit, just because that's just general like game knowledge. That's not a very difficult mechanic. You don't have to get insane at double touches though. But like, once you can do that, I'd say probably air dribbles.
Really, you would put double touch first?
I mean, you don't have to get good at it, but if you literally can't double touch.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
wrong with you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's what I learned first, actually. Like, but like the basic double touch, like not like bring it up the wall and stuff, just like a floating ball, and then you can like tap it to the backboard and tap it in. Like that's out of those mechanics I listed. Yeah, that out of the mechanics list that I had, that was the first thing I learned for sure.
Yeah. Then I'd say air dribbles. I find those fun. You'd probably want to learn air dribbles. Maybe not get insane at them before the other two, but you want to be able to air dribble it to the goal, probably cross field. Like if you're just going freestyling, just get solid at them, because it's pretty impressive just watching somebody carry the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'd say people are more impressed by like a 30-second, 20-second long air dribble than they are of a like a deca flip reset or something. They don't really see how hard that is. At least from what I've seen.
I don't know. As a viewer, maybe it's different in because you're talking like freestyle community, right? But I think
no,
like...
not freestyling community. I'm just talking reactions I've gotten from people.
Oh, really? I don't know. Let me think about personally.
Freestyling community is definitely gonna respect the deca more, but
yeah, honestly, I think I respect the deca more because like I think like once you get the infinite air dribble on, I've seen you just air dribble for like forever, right? But like, it's like you get to this point where it's almost like you're just dribbling. But like with the Deca, every time you go for an extra one, it's like another chance for you to screw up.
Exactly. Yeah. Air dribbles you can like fuck up a little bit and then
and still catch it back because you have
yeah,
like the full length of the height to fix it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you can mess up and then catch it back again. There's no point at which you've definitely dropped it unless you're like all the way above it. But
yeah.
With resets, it's like if you don't get the reset, then your shot is over, and that's just a very small margin of not hitting it.
So okay, let's go into some drills. If someone already knows how to do the basics, like they can air dribble from midfield into the goal, they can air dribble a full field, you know. I guess like maybe like where I am, right? Like I can do ceiling shots consistently, air dribbles, whatever. Where would they go if they want to transition from your regular ranked player into freestyling? Like what would be the most basic drill?
I mean, it depends what you're most interested in, because I've seen people start off with air dribbles, probably more common, and some people start off with freestyling that can field presetting that can barely air dribble.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say start off with air dribbling. Just switch to breakout, find some decent air dribbling cams.
So I think you showed me this drill last time when we first made this video. You're like dribble it from like that to the other side or something, like from like corner into the goal and stuff like that. Like you had a couple drills for like I think like
what I did at first is like
into the corner or back in or something like that.
Yeah. You want to go from like the corner or the backboard or just dribbling out from the goal to like turn it around and boost like upwards and forwards or backwards or whatever back into the goal. So you can actually like get good at turning it, so like you can control it and like put it back into the goal, and like you actually get used to pushing it and picking it up a little bit. And I'd say that's probably what you want to start off with, because when you air dribble, basically all you're always pushing it up and forwards. So if you just push it, like if you're just going this way, you want to turn it around so you don't run into a wall. And that's basically all there is to it. Just keep pushing it up and forwards until you're about to run into a wall. Then you just turn around again. And then you end up going in circles or back and forth or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So you would say the drill from the corner back in. I think, yeah, you know, honestly, whenever I'm in that situation, I feel like ceiling shots is just so much easier.
Oh yeah, you'd probably want to go for a ceiling shot in ranked or something.
Yeah, of course, from there. Okay,
probably would use a lot more boost.
Here would just be a pass, right? But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No. But the air dribbling in, that seems like a great drill. I don't think I could do that. Let me try.
Yeah, for sure.
That would start here, right?
Yeah, you could start off lower, try to go like further out. Just things like that.
I mean, do you think everything you can do in free play is enough, by the way? Like, do you think there's a difference between like trying to freestyle on console and freestyling on a PC?
I don't use anything that is not available in free play or a training pack on a regular basis.
Okay, that's great. That's good to hear for a lot of people, I'm sure. I think a lot of viewers here are definitely from console. I think Steam and Epic only make up like a certain percentage of obviously a certain percentage, but like a very low percentage. I think I was surprised by the amount of players that are actually console over PC.
Yeah, you mentioned that before. It was like more console players than PC by a decent amount.
Yeah, it's actually...
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some insane console freestylers. Like, this one guy, Dust SDN, first guy I can think of. He's done like the third most resets.
Wait, where are you in the most resets?
Second.
You're second. Wait, but didn't you say like the person who's first, he doesn't have it recorded, or what was that?
Oh no, he has clipping software now, and he's done 23 unscored, which you count like unscored for chains. At least that's what a lot of people do. That's kind of the consensus. You can also do scored, but it's like kind of less relevant whether or not you score it.
Yeah, I can see that, because y'all can just air dribble back in if you really wanted to score it, right?
Oh yeah, we're talking about chains though.
Yeah, but I'm saying... Wait, what?
Non-chained, I have the world record.
Oh really? Wait, what's the difference between non-chained and chained?
You do air dribbles in between.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm planning to break that, by the way. I'm trying to get like mid-30s or something.
Wait, how many do you have for unchained?
22 at this point in time.
That's crazy. So wait, I thought you had 22 chained. What's your chained record?
21 unscored.
Okay.
And I did like 17. I don't really go for scored chains very much.
Mm-hmm.
I might hit a decent PB there at some point, but for now it's 17.
So you're saying it doesn't really matter if someone wants to get into infinite air dribbling first or chain resets, right? Like it's really up to them.
Yeah, I'd say so. You definitely want to be able to like stall consistently though for chain resets. Like if you're a controller, you want to get like good dead zones and stuff like that before you actually get into it, just to make it so much less of a chore. Because I know that if you use like 0.05 dead zone or something like that, it's gonna be so bad that you're gonna think like, oh, I can never chain reset. You know what I mean? You can never get a stall.
Wait, what is your dead zone?
I am keyboard mouse, so I don't exactly know, but I know that his name's Scythe on YouTube. He's best resetter. He's on controller, and his dead zone's like 0.35 or something. And his
sensitivity is really low.
His dodge dead zones, they're both 0.35. They're both dead zones, I believe. He's from what I've last heard. So it's something around like 0.3 that you want to be at, just
for dodge dead zone.
More or less for both of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say we're gonna put Impulse's settings in the bottom, but I forgot he was KBM, so we got no settings for you here. I don't know why I forgot you were KBM, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I feel like I'm in easy mode. I feel like I'm either just decent at resets or I'm like on easy mode and I'm just oblivious of how much harder everybody else is working.
No, dude. I think the consensus in the Rocket League community period is KBM is inferior, right?
I guess.
So, I mean, I think you're on hard mode. Maybe. I don't know.
Look, yeah, I'm air dribbling for a while here. Hold on.
This is pretty sick. What are you doing?
I'm spinning.
You know, dude, you've definitely gotten
wild, dude. How long was that? Damn.
You've definitely gotten better, by the way. Because, like, I remember when I met you, you couldn't spinning air dribble like that as well. And you told me that was, like, what you were working on when I met you. But
yeah, and then I did that for a bit. I did, like, 60 seconds. I could probably do more now, actually, with that. That might have been a PB, I don't know. But I don't really do them at all.
Yeah.
Or at least as much as I could. I've been getting a lot better at air dribbling recently, though. I'm not, like, super focused right now, but...
Yeah, we're just chatting. Okay, so we have a beginner's drill for people who want to get into infinite air dribbling. Just dribbling, starting from the corner, getting used to moving the momentum against, like going against the grain of the momentum, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, where would you go for the beginner flip resetter? Like
you want to keep the ball moving though when air dribbling. Like you don't want to just have it in place because then you don't know where to put it.
That's fair.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, with flip resets, I'd just say get really consistent at stalling, because one thing I've seen from a lot of people, even that can do like a solid amount of resets, like 7 or 8, like pretty good, it makes it a lot harder if you can't stall like that. Like if they're stalling like that or something, you know what I mean? And that's what keyboard is so good for, because it's just buttons. You don't have to put the stick in your exact stick in the exact direction or anything like that.
No, your stalls are so clean. Your demonstration of what a bad stall looks like, that's exactly what my stall looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like without the ball, you should practice stalling first, huh?
Yeah, without the ball, and just with the ball, look back at it and it's like, can you tell which direction you're going? And like, sure, you can tell, but like, is it really apparent? Because if it's obvious, then you might be making it harder on yourself by not grinding them enough. And having them in your muscle memory.
No, that makes sense. You probably, people who can't stall well, trying to go for stalls, I can see that being very hard, because you're not, like, the main thing you got to get right is not right, so it's...
Yeah. It's a big thing, because then it gets you off center, and like, you'll have to recorrect your car after every single reset. Well, for me, I literally don't even press up and down at all.
Oh, really? So all this is just you... Oh, right, because you keep the height when you're stalling, so... Or like when you flip in the air in general, you keep your vertical height. So when you stall, that's why you just kind of stay in there popping the ball up, right?
Yeah.
But how do you do a 22 flip reset then? Because you're losing height by a little bit every single time.
21 flip resets chained is you just go really fast.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. You're trying to get as many as you can before you fall.
Yeah, it's just spamming basically. Like, I didn't spam. I had like a really consistent pace of like 0.67, barring like 2 of them, which were slightly slower.
It's like a rhythm game.
Sort of, yeah. You don't have to keep it really fast though, or you don't have to keep it like consistent. You can just go really fast and then have a few that are higher. Like Scythe that did 23, he had like 0.55 or 0.6 or something average, which is like about a tenth of a second higher than mine. But he just had like 3, like more than 1 second resets in it.
Yeah.
And that's just really what makes a difference, because if you lose, or if you have a 1 second reset, it loses more height than 2 like 0.5 seconds or whatever, you know. Like you accelerate downwards, so you could probably fit like even more resets in there.
That makes sense. So I think one interesting tip you told me a while ago was like when resets or when stalls are actually useful in the more like in-game situation. And I think it was like sometimes when I'm doing my flip reset, I'll get my reset, but instead of getting behind the ball to actually like shoot it, I end up directly under it, and that's when you're like, oh, you should have just stalled. Like even if it was like in a real match, if you stall, and you can pop it in front of you and then flip it.
Yeah, I think if you're here, right, you're directly below it. I can't flip forwards, like that's just gonna go in front of the ball, obviously. If you're directly below it. All right.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, so I mean, on the topic of like using flip reset stalls in game, like say you went to reset your flip, you screwed up, you're right under the ball, so now you need to do one stall before you do your actual flip into the ball to score it. What would that kind of look like for you?
Yeah, so like I'd set it up like I do a chain, and then if I'm like here or something, you could just stall and put that in.
That's pretty good.
Like as long as you get a decent amount of vertical height on it, and if you don't have enough time to like get behind it and actually forward flip it in, then you may as well just stall it in. Like you just do that.
Wow, yeah, I mean that works. Hey guys, so speaking of how to train and get better at freestyling, Impulse has a training pack for practicing these things that he generally uses. You want to talk about it a bit?
Yeah, it's just all the setups that I would ever need for freestyling, at least so far. And if there are any more that I haven't considered, then I guess comment or whatever. Like, just tell me that I need that shot, and I'll probably add it in if I see it is useful. So the code is up on the screen or in the description or something. So check it out. It has air dribbling setups, reset setups, and everything. Obviously available on console and PC. So just check that out. I'd say it's a good resource because I'm constantly updating it and everything.
Do it, because I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, you can come up with any sort of drill for yourself, and it's probably useful as long as you find it difficult, right? And because you're still building. So I think the more important thing is kind of like
you can't grind and get worse. That's like almost impossible.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Let me see. So, okay, do you think there's like a rank requirement for freestyling? Like, do you think someone should be a certain rank before they get into it? Or do you think it's like perfectly fine that like someone just bought the game and was like, I'm gonna get into air dribbles?
Yeah, that is a lot of people I noticed that only have like sub 1,000 hours, which is fine, but they try to get into it and they're like, I'm not making as much progress as I should. And it's like, yeah, but most of the other people that were playing it already had like 2 or 3K hours before they even started it, and obviously that's going to give you a big advantage. Like I have this one friend who was already a freestyler but not in this type of thing, and he went into infinite air dribbles, and he has kind of got it. Like he doesn't have it down, he can't do like a minute or anything, but he's pretty solid and better than a lot of freestylers that I've met just straight off of his hours. He's like a 2K MMR type guy.
Yeah,
yeah. Like if you're already an insanely mechanical player, then it's gonna be a lot easier, and if you're not, then you shouldn't expect the same type of progress that your friend or whatever that started off. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people get like unmotivated, like I'll never be able to do this, and it's not like
that's a really good point. I mean, I do think that there's no rank requirement. Obviously, you're sitting in free play, but it's a really good point that like if you're not at a certain point in your game or in your skill level, then you might get disheartened because the progress you make will be a lot more minimal as opposed to someone who is already, you know, champ 2 like you were, or like GC like your friend is, and then they go into it, they're gonna get that progress, like they're gonna see it right away.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know this one guy, I asked him a while ago, like how many hours do you have, and he was already like 20-second air dribbles or something, and he was like 800 hours, and I'm like, shit. Like, you only have 800 hours and you're already working on that. And he's like flat or something in the actual game, and I don't know if that's a good thing, to be honest, but I guess if you're having fun with it.
Yeah, you know, the thing I think the thing I really respected about you when I started playing with you was actually the fact that like how different you play in ranked. Because like you said, like you don't know if it's a good thing, like someone get into air dribbling at plat or stuff like that. And it's like, I think it's not a good thing when they try to like take these cool skills that they learn for free playing and for freestyling and think that it's correlates to like regular Rocket League. And of course it does, but not in the obvious way that you think it would. Not in the way that you think like, oh, I know how to do these crazy things, I'm gonna take it into a ranked match, like these exact skills. But no, it's more like you take the card control that you gain from this in. And I remember like playing with you, I was like, man, this guy actually doesn't do a single flip reset or air dribble in a match. Like we were playing some like, ones, and I didn't see you go for it once, and it was like, but you're playing so well, you're playing so fast, and you know, I think it's just that level of card control you gain from it that you take over to ranked, but none of the actual like stalling and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, I'm a prolific once player in like plat or something. I haven't played one for 3 seasons, dude.
I mean, in twos as well, right? Like you pass a lot, you know, you're not just hogging the ball, and I think that's, you know, a thing that a lot of people who get into this should definitely keep in mind. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, just because you can do this in free play does not mean you should take it into ranked.
Yeah, at least directly, you know.
At least not directly. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're getting at here.
Yeah, I mean, man, no direct disrespect to any ones players or anything, but like, I don't like playing with ones players in twos or threes. It's so bad. Like their play style is just, I don't know, man. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just that I don't mesh well. Maybe
I think it's just the type of ones players you run into. Because honestly, I was a ones player for a long time, and we did fine in twos. But I think it's like, I think it's the whole thing where it's like, you know, like the freestylers bringing in their freestyles into ranked. The ones players need to take some of their ones mentality not into twos and threes. You just got to build to like, what's that word I'm looking for? Compartmentalize your skills, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think, you know, like I love ones. I play a lot. I played it a lot in the past. I didn't really do it last season, and I will this season. And it's like, I know not to take certain skills between the two playlists, right? Like ones will help me build my game speed when I need it, but when I'm rotating, I need to play slow and be ready to like cover a lot of options and not just be speeding at the ball like all the time, right? Like that's kind of obvious. Like, don't ball chase like you would in ones, you know? But I think maybe that's,
that would seem obvious, wouldn't it? That would seem very obvious.
But I guess that's the problem you're having. Some of the players you're playing with, aren't segmenting their skills into the different playlists.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still higher ranked than me, at least a lot of them. So I can't really complain too much. It's just a lot of the characteristic playstyle of a ones main is not enjoyable to play with, in my opinion. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I think another good question for people who are getting into this. So you were already champ 2. You already had like a good base level of skill before getting into freestyling.
Yeah.
I see so many people ask like, how many hours should I expect to see progression or expect to see any sort of like results from my training? How long did it take for you to start being able to, I don't know, air dribble for 20 seconds or, you know, actually be able to see some sort of freestyler skill?
I cannot give you the exact hours, but I can probably give estimations combined with when exactly I clipped those first. Clip those things, because I still have all the clips from like way early on. Once the actual thing loads.
Okay, I'll hit the ball. They can see. The viewers can see my my crappy air dribbles while you look for that. Oh my god, hold on, I'm lagging. I gotta turn off performance mode.
I got like a 20-second one in almost exactly 1 month later.
So it took you a month to gain 20 seconds. Sorry, guys.
It was 25 seconds, yeah.
20 plus seconds of 1 month. That's good. That means you're on track to be record-setting in a couple freestyling things. So don't be disheartened. Every second counts. Actually, honestly, every second counts. When it comes to like infinite air dribbling, it's so hard, man. Like after we hung out for a bit, I went and tried it, and I was like, I can't hit 10 seconds.
I'm talking in free play, by the way, because I used to do it all in free play.
Oh yeah. Oh god, free play is even harder. I was using the workshop map.
Oh yeah. I could probably find my. Let's see. Oh, these are all my PBs. Okay, this is good. Yeah. So the first minute long one that I got in free play was I started August 9th, and the first one was November 28th.
For
Of
1
2019.
minute, November 28th. So damn,
Just to
that's
get
almost
1 minute, yeah.
That's
And that was
almost
like
3 months.
a lot of grinding.
Wait, that's more than 3 months. That's 3 months and a little bit, basically.
Yeah, September, October. Yeah, that is 3 and like a half months or so.
Yeah. A bit over 100 days
Yeah.
to get. So, and you play consistently, right? Like, it's not like you play like once a week. That was like,
Oh, dude, I don't know how much I was grinding back then, but I know I was at least pulling like 80, 90 hours in 2 weeks back then, and now I'm doing way more, but still, like, I wasn't just slacking off back then, you know?
yeah, no, exactly. So just to, I know a lot of people are concerned about like, oh, I have this many hours in the game, but I'm only doing this well. That's the progress, that someone who's made it to the top is doing as far as like freestyling goes. So if you can get a minute within 3 months, you're good to go, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say even if it takes a bit longer, don't worry about it, because I have a few friends. There's this one guy that's like, he had a penta or something, and he was getting discouraged, like, man, I haven't made any improvement in 3 weeks. And it's like, man, it took me 11 weeks to go from 5 to 6. Like, just chill. You'll see improvement in time, you know?
Yeah, time is everything, man.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I started at 1,840 hours. I have 4,634 hours. So, like, coming up on 3K hours in just freestyling, pretty much. Like, that's of everything, but I don't play very many matches and stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's definitely something that a lot of people need to hear, like about how much time it really takes to generate one skill in Rocket League. Like people who are taking a long time to learn like even the basic air dribble, it's fine. It took me so long to be able to like, I mean, you're watching me air dribble now, it's awful, but like actually be able to like use it in a match, it took a while, and even now I don't really go for them. Alright, but yeah, I think that's all we really had to talk about today. I just wanted to get a chance to get you on here and talk about, because we've done beginner tutorials on how to do your basic air dribble, how to do your basic ceiling shot, but we haven't really talked about like the mentality behind getting into like what you do with the actual infinite air dribbles and flip reset stalls. So hopefully that gives the viewers some idea for like how hard this path is, because like you said, it took you so many months to even do the most basic freestyle mechanics to get to where you are now. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, by the way. So if you guys want Impulse's YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, I'll have everything in the description below. Alright, so for the giveaway, I'll be giving away a total of 5,000 credits, and I'll be splitting that up. So for the first 2,000 credits, all you have to do is be subscribed and comment down below. I'll be using an app that just dumps out all the names of every subscriber who commented in this video, and I'll have that randomly pick a name for me. And for the remaining 3,000 credits, that'll be a car design competition. So all you have to do is join the Discord in the description below, and there'll be a 10,000 sub special car design channel where you can submit your favorite car design, and me and some others will vote on which one we like the best. The deadline for both of these will be on November 15th when we pick out the winner for both the commenter and the design competition. Unfortunately, I think I'm only able to trade to PC players, so if you happen to be on console and I get in touch with you, then the only two things I could really do for you is either I could give those credits to maybe a friend of yours or something, or if you're interested, then potentially I could do a coaching session or replay analysis if you're interested in that. But I hope you're okay with that if you're on console. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.